Okay, so have you heard about this AI co-scientist?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, we're going to do a deep dive on that today.
Yeah, it's like giving scientists this amazing new tool.
It's not about replacing scientists.
Right, it's about giving them something that can help them make discoveries.
So, like, instead of spending all their time
Yeah, exactly.
reading research papers.
If AI can actually, like, go through and pull out
Wow.
the key insights and even suggest, like, new hypotheses.
Okay, so how does it work? Is it just one big AI brain?
So it's not just one brain, it's actually a whole bunch of specialized AI agents
Okay.
all working together.
So like a team of experts.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of experts are we talking about?
Well, you've got one that's like the idea generator.
Okay.
And that one comes up with, new hypotheses, new research proposals. Then you have what I like to call the fact checker, which reviews those ideas and makes sure that they're accurate.
So this would save scientists
from going
down
exactly
these rabbit holes of research that's already been done.
It would, and then to make sure that we're really exploring like the best ideas, we have the debate moderator,
Interesting.
which basically compares and ranks.
So it's like survival of the fittest idea?
Yeah, kind of.
What happens to those losing ideas?
Well, then we have the idea tweaker.
Okay.
And the idea tweaker will take that feedback and refine and improve those ideas.
It sounds like this AI system is like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
With all these different parts working together. How do scientists actually interact with this?
So they don't have to learn any new language or anything. They can just talk to the system like they would talk to another scientist.
So it's not like this black box that spits out results. Scientists are still very much involved in the process. But has it actually helped make any discoveries?
Oh, yeah.
Just what?
So one of the really cool examples is in drug repurposing.
Okay.
And specifically for AML.
And remind us what AML is again?
That's acute myeloid leukemia.
Right.
It's a type of blood cancer that's really aggressive, and we need new treatments for it.
So how did the AI help?
So basically, they gave the AI this challenge of like, hey, can you find existing drugs that could be repurposed to treat AML? And it did.
Okay.
It actually found some promising candidates, including one that's already approved for treating melanoma.
So it's not just suggesting random drugs.
No, not at all.
It's actually making these.
Yeah, insightful connections that human researcher might have missed.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that. What about other areas of research?
There's another one that's really cool with liver fibrosis.
Okay, and liver fibrosis.
So liver fibrosis is a condition that can lead to liver failure. It's very serious.
How did the AI tackle this one?
So they were looking at this thing called epigenetic modifications, which is basically how your genes are expressed. And they asked the AI to find potential targets for new drugs to treat it. And it did.
And did these actually...
Yeah, so it actually identified 3 potential targets and drugs targeting. 2 of those targets have already shown promising results.
That's amazing. So it's not just coming up with ideas.
Right. It's coming up with ideas that can actually become treatments.
That's huge. There was another one, right?
Oh, yeah, with the bacterial gene transfer. Yeah, so there were these researchers who had spent years making these amazing discoveries about how bacteria transfer genes, but they were keeping it very top secret.
It's like a scientific mystery.
Yeah, totally. So they gave the AI the same problem, but without any of their findings.
So like a blind test for the AI.
Totally, yeah.
And what happened?
And the AI independently came up with the exact same hypothesis that the researchers had confirmed through years of experiments.
Like it has a sixth sense for scientific discovery.
I know, it's wild.
I'm starting to think this AI could revolutionize research.
Yeah, it really could.
And they're working on making it even smarter.
Yeah, they're working on this thing called scaling test time compute.
Okay, break that down for me.
So basically, the more processing power the AI has access to, the deeper it can think, the more connections it can make, the more...
computational muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
The more amazing discoveries it can make.
Yeah, it could.
That's exciting. But of course, there are always 2 sides to every coin. What about the potential downsides?
Well, I mean, anytime you have a powerful technology, there's a chance it could be misused.
Right.
So the researchers are very aware of this, and they're taking steps to make sure it's used safely and responsibly.
So they're building in safeguards.
Yeah, they are.
To prevent any accidental or intentional misuse.
Exactly.
It's not just about safety, though, right?
Right. There are also ethical considerations.
How do we make sure that this AI doesn't perpetuate existing biases?
That's a really good point. And that's one of the things they're thinking about a lot. They're working hard to make sure that the AI is trained on diverse data sets.
So making sure
it's fair. Exactly. Accurate.
And ultimately benefits humanity. Did they get any feedback from other scientists?
They did, and it was overwhelmingly positive.
Really?
Yeah, they were really impressed with the AI-generated hypotheses.
That's encouraging.
It is.
So it's not just this cool theoretical concept. It's actually impressing scientists. And they didn't just throw these ideas out there randomly, right?
No, they actually presented them using that same NIH-style grant proposal format so that it was very clear and well-structured and easy for scientists to evaluate.
What did the scientists who reviewed those proposals think?
They were impressed. They found them, well-structured, scientifically sound, and potentially groundbreaking.
That's amazing. Sounds like it's off to a great start. But I'm sure the journey isn't over.
Oh, yeah. They have a lot. They're still working on.
What are they working on?
So one thing is they're trying to expand the AI's knowledge base beyond just text.
Okay.
So they want it to be able to incorporate images, data sets, all sorts of.
So it's moving beyond just reading.
Yeah.
To actually being able to see and analyze different forms of scientific information. What else?
So they're also working on making it even more versatile. So being able to handle more complex experimental designs.
So basically, giving it a scientific upgrade.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm sensing a theme here. This AI is all about pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, it really is.
And to make sure this incredible tool is accessible to everyone they're working on, improving the user interface.
Right, because not every scientist is a computer scientist.
Right. So it's not just about making it smarter. It's also about making it user-friendly.
Exactly. And accessible.
That's amazing. It sounds like we're on the cusp of a new era in scientific discovery.
It's a pretty incredible time to be a scientist, I think.
But just like with Harvey, any powerful technology.
Right. There are bound to be challenges, ethical considerations that we need to think about.
And we've got to make sure we're using it wisely and ethically. We've covered a lot of ground here in part 1 of our deep dive. We've explored how it works, some of the amazing discoveries, and the potential it holds for the future of science. But there's still so much more to unpack. This AI co-scientist can analyze data and make connections, like we were saying, at a speed that's just mind-blowing.
It really is.
But it's not just about, the speed. It's about the scale.
Right. It's about the potential impact.
Like all the researchers and all these underfunded labs.
Exactly. Or working on these less popular topics.
They might not have all the resources, but this AI could.
It could level the playing field.
Yeah, it's like a scientific equalizer. It gives everyone a shot at making these discoveries, no matter where they are.
Yeah, and think about the speed, like you said. What might have taken a team of scientists years, this could do in a fraction of the time.
Warp speed for science.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about.
Especially in fields like dot medicine, where time is really of the essence.
Huge implications.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
Always. Right.
What are some of the potential pitfalls we need to be thinking about?
Well, one of the biggest ones is making sure that the AI's output is actually accurate and reliable.
Because the AI is only as good as...
Right, the data it's trained on.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So
and how do we make sure that this AI isn't perpetuating existing bias?
That's where human oversight is absolutely crucial.
So scientists still need to be involved.
Yeah, they need to be involved every step of the way, from setting the research goals to evaluating the AI's findings.
It's a partnership.
It is. It's a collaboration.
Like having a super smart research assistant, but one that still needs guidance from...
Exactly. The human scientist.
That brings us to another important point. Ethics.
Yes.
We've talked about the potential for misuse, but there are also those broader ethical questions.
Like intellectual property.
Yeah, who owns the discoveries?
Right.
If an AI helps make a discovery, who gets the credit?
Is it a tool, like a microscope? Or is it a collaborator? Maybe even a co-author?
These are big questions.
They are, and we need to start having these conversations now.
Before this technology becomes even more widespread.
Absolutely.
And I think some people might be worried that this AI could lead to job displacement for scientists.
I see it differently. I see it as an opportunity.
Me too. Instead of replacing scientists, it could free them up for those tedious tasks.
They take up that much time.
Like data analysis, literature reviews.
Exactly.
So they can focus on the more creative aspect.
The strategic thinking.
It's not about replacing them.
Right.
It's about augmenting their capabilities.
Empowering them to do what they do best.
And the researchers behind this AI aren't stopping there.
No, they're not. They have big plans.
What's next on their agenda?
So one thing they're really focused on is enhancing the AI's reasoning abilities.
Interesting. So not just processing.
Yeah, they want it to be able to really understand the information to make those complex inferences.
So going from data cruncher to scientific thinker.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It is.
What else?
And then another thing is adaptability.
Okay.
They want the AI to be able to learn from new data to adjust its hypotheses.
So it's like a scientific Swiss Army knife,
Kinda.
ready to tackle any problem you throw at it. What about integrating it
Ooh, now you're talking.
with other cutting-edge technologies like quantum computing, advanced robotics?
Yeah. Possibilities are endless.
We're talking a whole new level of scientific exploration. But it's important to remember, we're still...
Right, in the early stages.
Yeah, we're scratching the surface.
We are. But even in its infancy, it's already showing remarkable potential.
It's amazing.
It is.
What human ingenuity can achieve.
And it's not just about science.
Right. These principles could be applied.
To other fields, too.
The arts, social sciences, business.
Absolutely.
AI co-creators, helping artists, AI co-problem solvers, tackling these complex social issues.
AI co-strategists, helping businesses.
The possibilities are truly endless.
It's all about that collaboration between humans and AI.
Not machines taking over.
Right, humans and machines working together.
It's a partnership.
It is.
That has the potential to reshape our world in amazing ways. But as we said, we need to proceed thoughtfully, address those ethical considerations.
For sure. Make sure this technology is being used for good. It's a balancing act.
It is, but it's a balancing act, worth undertaking.
I agree.
This AI co-scientist offers a glimpse into a future where human potential is amplified by artificial intelligence. It's a future full of possibilities and challenges, and we as informed citizens need to engage in these conversations, ask the tough questions, and help shape this future.
We all have a role to play in making sure this technology is used ethically and responsibly.
It's a powerful tool.
It is, but it's up to us, humans, to wield it wisely.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground in part 2, exploring the potential impact of this AI on various fields, talking about ethical considerations, and even peeking into the future. But there's one more fascinating aspect we haven't touched on yet, the potential of this technology to enhance human creativity. So we've talked about how this AI can analyze data, make connections, but this idea that it could actually boost human creativity, that's wild.
I know, it's a fascinating idea.
When we think about AI, we usually think about it like crunching numbers, automating tasks.
Right, yeah.
But to think it could actually make us more creative, that's kind of
It is paradigm shift.
Yeah, how does that even work?
Well, think about how creativity works. We humans are at our most creative when we're not bogged down in all the details, when we can focus on the big picture.
So you're saying the AI can clear?
Yeah, it can sort of clear the mental clutter and free up our brains.
To be more creative?
To be more creative, to think outside the box.
But can an AI really help with those, aha moments? Those are supposed to be like these spontaneous
right, yeah.
bursts of insight.
I think that's where things get really interesting. The AI might not have those eureka moments in the same way that humans do, but it can still be a catalyst.
How so?
So by offering new perspectives, by challenging our assumptions, by presenting information in a way that we might not have thought of before, it can help us see things in a new light.
So it's like this creative...
Yeah, like a sparring partner.
Sparring partner pushing us.
Pushing us, and to think differently.
And it's constantly learning and evolving.
It is, and as it learns, it's going to get even better at identifying those things that spark those breakthroughs.
I'm sure some people are thinking, can an AI really be creative?
Right.
Isn't that a uniquely human thing?
It's a very good question, and it's one that philosophers have been debating for centuries. I don't know if we'll ever have a definitive answer.
But even if the AI itself isn't creative in that human sense.
Right. It can still be a powerful tool for amplifying human creativity.
So it's like a creativity multiplier.
Exactly. Yeah.
It takes our existing potential and just like cranks it up.
Cranks it up.
Maybe one day we'll even have AI composing symphonies, writing novels.
Who knows? Maybe.
But for now, I think it's safe to say this AI is already changing the game
I think so.
when it comes to human AI collaboration.
And this is really just the beginning. We're at the very early stages of what's possible with this technology.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot in this deep dive into this AI co-scientist. We've talked about how it works, the discoveries it's made, the ethical considerations, the potential pitfalls, and the importance of making sure it's used responsibly.
It's powerful technology, but we need to make sure we use it wisely.
It's been a fascinating exploration, and we hope you'll continue to follow along with us as this technology unfolds. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.